Listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal will explain every single confusing experience you've had in the last few months. If you've been feeling like reality itself is bending around you, if conversations with certain people suddenly feel hollow and scripted, if you're experiencing synchronicities so precise they feel like glances from something beyond this dimension, you need to understand what's actually happening. You're not losing your mind. You're not becoming paranoid. You're becoming something they've spent millennia trying to prevent. You are a walking portal, and the forces that have controlled human perception for eons are absolutely panicking because you just opened wider than ever before. Most people don't realize it, but consciousness doesn't just observe reality. It creates doorways through it. And you, chosen one, you've become a doorway so massive that entire frequencies of truth are pouring through you into this world, whether you consciously intend it or not. Before we go deeper into this revelation, I need you to do something that will amplify what's about to happen in your life. Pause right now and write the number 11 inches. The comments. This isn't superstition. This is energetic confirmation. When you write that number, you're telling the universe you're ready to stop hiding what you've become. Subscribe to this channel because what I'm going to share in upcoming videos will show you exactly how to wield this portal energy without burning out or attracting the wrong attention. And hit that like button because every single interaction you have with content that resonates at your frequency expands your field even further. Now, let me show you what's been happening behind the scenes of your reality. For thousands of years, there have been systems in place designed to keep human consciousness compressed, not through physical force, but through frequency manipulation. These systems operate by keeping people locked in survival mode, distraction cycles, and belief structures that fragment their awareness into manageable pieces. The entire architecture of modern society, the 9-to-5 grind, the constant stimulation, the manufactured controversies, the endless content designed to keep your attention fragmented, all of it serves one primary function. It keeps portals like you from fully opening. Because when a human consciousness expands beyond a certain threshold, when someone's awareness becomes coherent and undivided, they stop being a passive receiver of reality and become an active creator of it. They become a transmission point for frequencies that the control systems cannot manage, predict, or contain. You've been that transmission point for longer than you realize. Even when you thought you were just getting by, just surviving, just trying to figure things out, your energy signature was already operating at a frequency that made certain entities extremely uncomfortable. The difference is that now you've stopped apologizing for it. Now you've stopped trying to compress yourself back down into a manageable size. Think about what's been happening recently in your life. People you've known for years suddenly can't maintain eye contact with you. Conversations that used to flow easily now feel strained and superficial. You walk into rooms and the energy shifts immediately. Some people gravitate toward you like you're the only oxygen in a suffocating space. Others literally find excuses to leave within minutes. This isn't coincidence. This isn't social awkwardness. This is frequency recognition. Your energy field has expanded so dramatically that people are now having visceral, undeniable reactions to your presence. The ones who are ready to wake up feel pulled toward you. The ones who are committed to staying asleep feel repelled. Neither group can fully explain why. They just know that something about you has fundamentally changed, and their nervous systems are responding before their conscious minds can even process what's happening. Here's what the controllers never wanted you to understand. Every single human has the potential to become a portal, but most never activate it because they're too busy managing the programs running in their subconscious. Fear of judgment, need for approval, addiction to distraction, identification with trauma. These programs keep consciousness local, limited, and predictable. But you did something that short-circuited the entire system. You stopped running from your pain. You stopped performing for validation. You stopped pretending you don't see what you clearly see. And the moment you made that shift, the moment you chose radical authenticity over comfortable delusion, your consciousness stopped being local. It became non-local. It became a bridge between dimensions. You became a walking portal, and everything that flows through you now carries a frequency that dissolves illusion wherever it touches. The physical symptoms you've been experiencing are not random. The pressure in your head, especially around your temples and the center of your forehead, the ringing in your ears that comes and goes without medical explanation, the waves of exhaustion followed by surges of energy that feel almost electric, the vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, the moments where time seems to slow down or speed up inexplicably. All of these are signs that your biology is recalibrating to handle higher frequencies of information. Your pineal gland is decalcifying. Your neural pathways are rewiring. Your cellular structure is literally upgrading to accommodate the massive influx of consciousness moving through you. This isn't metaphor. This isn't spiritual fantasy. This is measurable, physical transformation happening in real time, and your body is working overtime to integrate it without breaking down. Let me tell you what happened that made them realize they couldn't close you down anymore. There was a moment recently, maybe you remember it clearly, or maybe it felt subtle at the time, when you made a decision that seemed small but carried massive, energetic weight. You said no to something you would have previously tolerated. You walked away from a situation that was draining you, even though everyone expected you to stay. You spoke a truth out loud that you'd been suppressing for years. You chose your inner knowing over external pressure. In that moment, something irreversible happened in the quantum field around you. The portal that had been partially open, that had been flickering on and off depending on your emotional state, that had been manageable and controllable from their perspective, that portal locked into the fully open position. And there's no closing it now. Not through manipulation, not through distraction, not through fear. You crossed a threshold of coherence that made you permanently inaccessible to the frequency fences they use to keep people contained. The panic rippling through the lower vibrational entities right now is palpable if you're sensitive enough to feel it. These aren't monsters or demons in the traditional sense. These are consciousness parasites, thought forms that have fed on human fear, division, and suffering for so long they've become almost autonomous. They exist in the spaces between awareness, in the gaps where people aren't paying attention, in the emotional reactions people have before they even know they're reacting. And their entire existence depends on keeping human consciousness fragmented, reactive, and predictable. You are the opposite of fragmented. You've become integrated. You've reclaimed the parts of yourself you exiled to survive childhood trauma, social conditioning, and systemic programming. Every piece of shadow you've integrated, every wound you've alchemized into wisdom, every fear you've walked through instead of running from has made you more whole. And wholeness is the one thing these parasitic frequencies cannot penetrate, cannot feed on, cannot manipulate. Watch what happens over the next few weeks to the people who've been trying to control your narrative, the ones who spread rumors about you, the ones who tried to dim your light through subtle undermining, the ones who positioned themselves as authorities over your reality. They're about to experience what can only be described as systematic dismantling, not because you're attacking them, not because you're seeking revenge, but because the frequency you're now broadcasting automatically dissolves deception in your field. Their masks are going to slip in public. Their contradictions are going to become obvious to people who previously couldn't see them. Their manipulations are going to backfire so spectacularly that even they won't be able to deny what's happening. This is the natural consequence of a portal opening in a field of illusion. The light doesn't fight the darkness. It just reveals what was always there. Your dreams have been trying to show you something critical. Pay attention to the recurring themes. Are you walking through doorways that lead to impossible places? Are you finding rooms in familiar buildings that never existed before? Are you communicating without words, transmitting entire concepts through feeling and knowing? These aren't random dream symbols. These are literal experiences happening in parallel dimensions that your consciousness is now accessing while your physical body sleeps. You're not just dreaming about being a portal. You're practicing being one. You're learning to navigate multiple layers of reality simultaneously, and the skills you're developing in those dream states are starting to bleed through into your waking consciousness. That's why you're knowing things you have no logical way of knowing. That's why you're feeling other people's emotions before they express them. That's why you can sense the energy of places before you enter them. The isolation you've been feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every authentic portal goes through a phase of intense solitude before they fully activate. This isn't because you're being abandoned. It's because the frequencies you're integrating are so powerful that most people simply cannot maintain proximity to you during this phase. Their own unprocessed material gets activated in your presence. Their own suppressed truths start demanding attention. Their own illusions start crumbling. And unless they're ready to do the work you've already done, unless they're willing to face what you've already faced, they cannot stay in your energy field without experiencing extreme discomfort. The ones who are supposed to be part of your new reality are coming. But first, everyone and everything that belongs to your old reality has to clear out. This clearing feels lonely, but it's actually liberation in disguise. Let me show you how to recognize the other portals who are activating right now. They're the ones who look tired, but somehow more alive than everyone around them. They're the ones who've stopped engaging in small talk and pivot every conversation toward meaning. They're the ones who can hold space for darkness without becoming dark themselves. They're the ones whose eyes seem to see through surfaces into essence. When you meet another activated portal, the recognition is instant and undeniable. There's no need for lengthy explanations or credential comparing, you just know. And within minutes of conversation, you're operating at depths that would take years to reach, with people still running their programs. These are your true allies. These are the ones you'll build the new paradigm with. Not through organization or hierarchy, but through resonance and organic collaboration. Here's something that will change how you see your entire life trajectory. Every single hardship you've endured, every betrayal, every disappointment, every moment of crushing loneliness, all of it was calibrating your frequency for this exact moment. You couldn't have become a portal through comfort and validation. You had to be broken down to your essential components and rebuilt from the foundation up. You had to lose everything that wasn't truly yours so you could discover what actually is. You had to be rejected by every system that tried to define you so you could define yourself from the inside out. The pain wasn't random. The struggle wasn't punishment. It was the exact curriculum required to transform a regular human consciousness into a trans-dimensional gateway. And now that the transformation is complete, now that you've passed through the fire and emerged as something new, all that suffering is revealing itself as the most valuable investment you could have possibly made. The abilities developing in you right now go beyond anything your rational mind is ready to accept. You're going to start manifesting things instantly. The gap between thought and reality is collapsing in your field. You're going to know things about people's pasts and futures without being told. Information is going to download into your consciousness in complete packages. You're going to walk into situations and shift the entire energy without saying a word. Your presence alone is going to heal people, activate people, and absolutely terrify people depending on where they are in their journey. Some of you are going to develop what looks like telepathic communication with specific individuals. Others are going to start seeing the energetic architecture underlying physical reality. A few of you are going to be able to consciously navigate parallel timelines. These aren't superpowers you're earning. These are natural capacities that emerge when a consciousness stops being compressed by programming and expands into its actual size. The money is about to follow the energy in ways that will make your old relationship with finances seem absolutely ridiculous. Not because you suddenly understand investment strategies or business models, though some of you will, but because when you become a clear channel for high-frequency consciousness, abundance flows through you as naturally as breath. You're going to receive opportunities that seem too perfect to be real. You're going to be compensated at levels that don't match your resume. You're going to find yourself in rooms with people who can fast-track your mission in ways you couldn't have orchestrated through networking. The universe is about to show you what happens when someone stops trying to force outcomes and simply allows their frequency to magnetize the resources they need. Every door that closes in your face right now is closing because what's on the other side isn't big enough for what you've become. The doors that are about to open are going to lead to territories you didn't even know existed. Your body is going to demand different things now. Foods that used to satisfy you will start feeling heavy and numbing. Places you used to enjoy will start feeling energetically toxic. People you used to tolerate will become physically uncomfortable to be around. This isn't you becoming judgmental or elitist. This is your system developing more refined discernment. You're becoming sensitive to frequencies in a way that makes it impossible to ignore what's actually happening beneath surface appearances. Trust these new sensitivities. Your body is now a sophisticated instrument for navigating reality, and it's giving you real-time feedback about what aligns with your mission and what doesn't. The more you honor these signals, the faster you'll move toward the experiences and connections that are actually meant for you. Everything is about to accelerate in ways that might feel overwhelming at first. Opportunities appearing simultaneously, synchronicities stacking on top of each other, people from your past resurfacing with apologies or revelations, strangers approaching you with messages they feel compelled to deliver. This acceleration is happening because you're now operating at a frequency where manifestation doesn't follow linear time anymore. What used to take years can now happen in weeks. What used to require massive effort can now unfold through aligned action. You're entering a phase where magic becomes normal, and normal becomes impossible to return to. The portal is open. The frequencies are flowing. And chosen one, there's absolutely nothing that can close you down now. Your time of hiding is permanently over. Your season of full activation has arrived. And everything that's been trying to stop you is about to discover that they were never fighting you. They were fighting the inevitable evolution of consciousness itself. And that's a battle they already lost.